Yo, we are back with some more ProTA World Championship 2024. Today we are doing the losers round 2 match between Monka and snakeeaterx. Monka is fresh off his loss against Tiptushy in the winner's bracket, and Snakeeater got a bye against Sabretooth, so this will be a nice match for him to get into. Monka is going to be looking to get things back on track after having a less than stellar performance against Tiptushy. That match was pretty rough for him. He just wasn't his normal self. He was making mistakes that he doesn't normally do. But in any case, Snake is a quality opponent. He is I don't know. I should ask him one day. I can't remember if he played, back in the day, way back when, but he's playing now, and he's been around on TAF for maybe half a year or so. I can't remember, but he's quickly improving. He plays a ton of Eden, like a lot of Eden. So he's pretty good at that, and as you can see, Eden will be map number 1. Get Your Riot Gear will be map number 2, and I particularly am excited for that because I made the map, and I believe this will be the first game of the tournament played on this map. I am very much looking forward to seeing how things go. I put a ton of work into the map, and I want to see high-level games on it, and we'll see what happens. And hey, how about that? Again, Absinthe Frappe, map number 3. So will we be able to see it this time? I surely hope so. It would be awesome to finally get to watch somebody play on here. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Who's going to win? Will it be the very experienced Monka or the up-and-coming snakeeaterx? Let's find out. Game 1 on RDX Eden now. Alright, here we are, game 1 on RDX Eden. We have Snakeeater on the left, Monka or Lon on the right. So I previously mentioned that Snake has played a ton of games on this map. Before starting up the replay, I wanted to check and see exactly how many games. At the time of playing this, Snake has played 61 games on Eden. And Lon, 8. So this is Lon's 9th game on the map, and Snake's 62nd. That's a pretty big difference. That being said, Lon is a very good player. He is not the fastest around. If you watch him stream on Discord, he's actually pretty slow. It's kind of funny. But you know what? He has great decision making, and a lot of times he just wins. He will out strategize people. That strategery and stuff. Snake, at this point, I think he was still going mass T1 vehicles. I think that was his meta at the time of this game, which was about 2 months ago now. That's crazy. It's been, taking us a long time to get through these matches, but yeah. I'm interested to see if he still does that, or if he tries to do a quick T2 rush or something. Coffee. It is very necessary. Darn 2-year-old won't let us sleep. So frustrating. Alright, looks like a couple peewees for Lon. Nothing yet for Snake, he's just chilling. Lon's not going to heavily invest in early peewees, just getting out a couple. Defensive MT for Snake. I don't think I've ever seen anyone cap these mexes. Or I don't know if I've seen anyone get the Uloks. I always forget about them, that's for sure. Are there Uloks down here too? Maybe that can be on Walker's second version of Eden. Put some Uloks up here. Alright, now we see some Kiwis from the snake. Not much going on. I will say that when Lon decides to attack, he will probably be relentless with his attacks. So he's probably just going to build up a little bit until he can get to the point where he'll have enough production to try to swarm Snake. And I wonder if Snake is trying to be like a little extra cautious considering the level of opponent he's playing against in the losers bracket. Because at this point, if you lose the series, you're out. There's no more. They're both walking their comms a bit now. Yeah, he's starting his vehicle stuff. The vehicles can definitely be overwhelming, especially if they put in Stumpies. Because Stumpies will take out the... Ah, he's doing it too. Interesting. Stumpies will take out the defenses pretty quick. Let's check out the totals. Wow, very even. Lon's just slightly ahead on energy. One thing I like to do when I try to do vehicles second on the map is get out a couple vehicle cons as well. They cap the mexes a lot quicker, and then also good build power on MTs as well. I'm gonna see someone go air second. It's like, that'd be very strong. Get a couple bombers out, and just start wrecking havoc. Yeah, maybe we... Yeah, looks like we're gonna see Lon going super aggressive with the vehicles. At this point, you might want to put down another K-Bot lab just to supply cons to guard these. Unless you start building only cons from there. Turn down the volume real quick, that was a little loud. Would be better. Advanced. So yeah, he is not going the mass T1 like he had been. Oh no, does he even know about this? No, okay. He does. Oh no. Alright, so this one may get... He got 3 by. See, this is when I'm talking about Lon not being the fastest. This happens a lot with him. Is he'll get in good areas or do something good, and then just not be able to keep up with it all the way. And what would be initially advantageous for him kind of turns into nothing. Yeah, here we go. That's exactly what I was thinking would be good. Vital lab. Snake's about to be in trouble. Oh, Mr. Lawn, you so good. You so good, Mr. Lawn. Yeah, this is rough. Snake didn't have enough defending up here. Behind this, Lawn has up his advance now, and you'll see that, I was going to say you'll see that Lawn just keep sending units over. Usually when he gets in a situation like this, he'll change his rally points for his labs, like all the way to the other person's base, so that literally the pressure never stops. But of course, in this game, he decides to not do that and make me sound dumb. Thank you, Mr. Lawn. Also kind of surprised he didn't go straight warriors. Or like, you know, he's building 4 cons now? Advanced cons? Like, maybe 2. And then warriors? Yeah, he's even going arcs after that, yeah. Because when you're in like this, it would be my opinion to just use that advantage and just keep going. Adding warriors to the mix would be overwhelming. How did he get those through? Wow. Wow. Snake's like, he's tapped out. He's like, I don't know. Snake's like, I'm done. Trying to defend this up here. Forget about the labs. Then you have these darn EBs that came through. Yeah, see, now you can see the steady stream of stuff coming over. Yep. That's the Lawn that we know and love. Oh man, this game's done. Well, Mr. Snake, honestly, not a good game for you, buddy. Not a very good game. Kinda just got crushed. Started with not having enough defenses up here. And then I think he was probably trying to overcorrect and go too many MTs. And Lawn hasn't had any pressure on his side, so he's just been able to literally do whatever he wants. And if all this wasn't enough, he's got the BB coming up. Oh yeah, and I mentioned the Vapor and Redox games that like always forget about the reclaim here, and you know they did too. Which I wonder, that's right, so Snake has played 61 games. I wonder out of those 61 games, how many he actually got the reclaim on. Alright, so Snake's finally, like, getting things under control down here. On this side, though, it's free range for Lon. Yeah, these getting in here on the energy. It's gonna... Oh no, and then I bet you what happened was he set these up either to go on attack or to defend this way, and he kind of just forgot about them. I bet that's what happened, so Lon's units just walked all the way around. Mr. Lon, you so good. Why are you so good? Why are you so good, Mr. Lon? That fusion up. Go ahead and check a total here, even though it's going to be really lopsided. Yeah, look at that. 29k difference, that's huge. I mean, there's really not much to say about this game. I don't know. Lon got in, and Snake wasn't ready. Snake could not handle the heat. One thing that Snake is pretty good at is if he can lock down a side and, you know, form a little wall, he's pretty good at getting up a quick Guardian to start sieging that way. I don't really think I've ever seen him do that too much on 1v1s on this map, but he definitely does it a lot on team games. Oh, and when you're having to build an HLT this far back in your base, you know that you're in trouble. Doesn't have the energy to do anything right now. Should be in imminent GG. Wouldn't be surprised if Lon goes with an offensive GG. He's a silly goose like that. And air, more advanced labs. Yeah. Yeah, it's been done for a while, buddy. Oh, Mr. Lon, why you no target? There we go with the GGs. And that's it. Easy peasy for Lon. Snake, buddy, you're gonna have to do better next game, because Lon almost seemingly didn't really have to try too hard. But anyway, Game 2 will be coming up momentarily. Let's just check out the score screen real quick. Very lopsided. You know, Lon did access a good bit of metal there. How, Mr. Lon? You're so good, but you're so bad. How are you so good and so bad? Anyway, Game 2 on Get Your Riot Gear coming up now. And here we are, Game 2 on Sim Get Your Riot Gear. This map is interesting because of all of the, you know, random geometric shapes, and my original intention was to have a map where the main fighting unit would be hovers. So when designing it, I was thinking like all of these platforms, islands, etc. would be enough to make it so that skeets and searchers wouldn't be able to navigate, And with this tile set, the coast of the metal being quite manageable, hovers would just be able to like go right over them. You'll be able to see that, you know, that it didn't actually work out the way I intended. Most of the time, there will be a very heavy skeet presence, like a lot more than I was intending. But yeah, it's okay. I still like the map a lot. I put a ton of time and effort into making it. For this tile set, it's not the traditional metal world, because the traditional metal, first of all, it didn't have these extra shapes like that. It was all very square and blocky like this. This is actually a piece I cut from a metal world, but the show you contour then. So like you can see here, the height for these much higher than this, and you know, things just can't climb up and down. So for these platforms, they allow much easier access for hovers. Turn that off or 0. And one thing that I still don't think there's been, you know, 2 months later, I still don't think there's been a build that's like actually truly optimized for this map. So you'll see people go, you know, titles, and then some people go solars, some people go sea first. They both went K-bot first. I'm sure some mad lad will go air first. But when I decided to make this map, I knew that I wanted to force, not really force, but make it so that hovers would be the ideal attacking unit. And hovers are very expensive. So I wanted it to be a metal map to be able to afford hovers. And then I wanted the title to be nice and high, which is 28, so that, again, you know, people would have the resources to actually go hover. Now, that being said, I was also, you know, I also knew that if it was just a straight flat metal world, that things would get a little crazy. And with a map this size, I didn't necessarily want it to immediately be like a immediate jump to tier 2 and then just get out of hand. So you look at all these islands and stuff, the build space is pretty limited. You really have to pick and choose how and what you build on these islands. And you can still do some pretty ridiculous, insane things, but it's not going to be as crazy as just like a flat metal world would be. You can see here that Lawn is already going multiple shipyards. Snake has one shipyard, getting out a couple skeets. I think traditionally you would see people have like skeets out already and trying to harass the other person. What you'll notice, hopefully you'll be able to notice this on this game, might not even get to that point. The skeets will actually be able to fire up onto the land. So on most maps, skeets can't hit very far inland, like they could hit maybe like this area or so. But on this map, like everything, almost everything's fair game. And it makes an interesting dynamic where the pathing for the skeets isn't as bad as like I thought it would be, on top of you know, them being able to hit so much of the land. They have just become more powerful than I intended. put it that way. All right, you can see that Snake is really heavily investing in these hovercons. It's good because it'll help him expand at ease. The problem is that they are very expensive. So 267 metal, 2800 energy. So they are more expensive in metal and energy than a ship, and significantly less build power. And you can see here, Lon is going heavy onto the C-cons. So he will have less expensive and more powerful cons in Snake. And again, I mentioned that Skeets will be a very still be very good on this map, and Lon being able to guard his labs with C-cons, he's gonna have an upper hand pretty quick. Check out totals. Not toll. Pretty even, pretty even. Lon's already getting a little bit ahead of the unit count. Again, it's just the ship cons. They're far superior than the sea cons as far as what they do in the sea. If I were Snake, I would be I would have multiple. First of all, I would have multiple labs, like one doing only sea cons, the other doing Skeets. And then these guys, all they would be doing is just building stuff on land. Like, you know, MTs or Mexes. Maybe a Geo, but the Geos aren't necessarily that important because the title is 28. You can pretty much just farm titles the whole game. If the game goes really long, then you can do like I've made fusions on land several times. Alright, so Snake's, you know, fending off this attack. This wasn't really supposed to do too much damage. It's mostly probing to see where Snake is, what he's doing. Check out his expansion. And what we're going to see from Lon are just shipyards everywhere. I like to build my shipyards closer to the opponent as I progress. So you'll see, if you see a replay of me playing this map, oftentimes, if I'm doing well enough, I'll have shipyards here. If I'm really lucky, like up here, I like to push forward as much as possible. Which honestly, that's hurt me a lot. Because I'll be doing that, and then they'll send units like down this side, and I'm left wide open. But, you know, live and learn, stuff like that. Pels will be good. Also, getting up the Moho Mexes is very, very good. The underwater Mexes take a good bit of time to build, and they're pretty costly. And these will give you a nice boost of metal income. You can see just Skeets everywhere. This is not what I intended on the map being when I made it, but you know, again, I still love the map for what it is. And Snake kind of just left, or let his Skeets get. This might be over already. Not necessarily yet, but one of those where it's like effectively over. So Snake kind of let his whole army just die for nothing. If you can see, Lon is a little bit hurting on metal. He now has all this reclaim. He has Snake stopped dead in his tracks. At this point, yeah, I was going to mention soon. Usually when I play the map is when I start getting out the Moho mines, is when I transition heavy into Crusaders or Enforcers. They're very expensive meta-wise, and this boosted income will help a lot to pump these out. And the reason they are so good is even though the pathing is okay enough for skeets, they still will get clumped up in areas. So, like, I don't think we're going to see a good example of it, because I think Lon's just about to completely overrun Snake. But a lot of times you'll see in a skeet battle, like a giant clump of skeets will get stuck here. And you just park the Crusader like out here, and you just rain down shots. And then, again, of course, with the islands being, the height map being the way they are, Crusaders can literally, like, hit. You park it right here, and it can literally hit, like, everything. And, this game's done. Man. I honestly think him going so much into these, hovers, specifically the hover cons, I think that's, like, that was the determining factor here. Lon was just able to be way more efficient with his building. This game's done. Poor Snake. He didn't know what he was getting into. Honestly, 2 games of Lon really not having to do too much. He played just very standard. Nothing fancy at all. You can see he has shipyards everywhere. Building mechs way up here in the middle. HLT there. Oh boy. Getting out hovers now. Man. Don't really know what to say at this point. Not really much to say. This is advanced yard, yeah. Oh yeah, and the bigger ships like Millenniums, Warlords, even subs, they cannot traverse the shallow water. So I've made a couple mistakes. Like I would make an advanced shipyard here, and then try to build a Warlord, and it would just get stuck right there. Kind of unfortunate. But Warlords are especially just absolutely insane on this map. They're good in general, but on this map in particular, they completely wreck. Normally you'll have like the laser would get stopped by like the land or something, but since these are so flat, a Warlord right here, like the laser can shoot like all the way over here. It is just sick. Got the hovers coming in this way. Everything over here. Oh, Colossus. Also, this is I was gonna say this is a good map for rushing a nuke too. You know that their main production will be on this island, and if you have kind of a stalemate in the sea, nuking their main island with most of their production is almost a certain way to be able to pull out a victory. I've gotten a few of those, and it's very fun. I enjoyed it quite a lot. And again, this being a double elimination tournament and it being the last chance for Snake, he's not wanting to go down. He's trying to hold out, but at this point, you know, it's done. There's no way. Wrecked again. Yep. Poor Snake. Those hovers, they did you in, buddy. GG. This beautiful map. It took so long to splice all these together. All these shapes aren't like, these aren't pre-made tiles. I had to like piece them together, like a whole ton of cut and paste. It was fun. All right. Again, score screen very one-sided as the game was in itself. Good job on not accessing too much metal on this map. Once you start getting to the T2 Moho mexes, underwater or on land, it can get kind of out of hand at some point, where you sometimes can't spin it quick enough, and it's a very fine line of having enough metal or just none at all. So you'll see a lot of weird excess on this map. Anyway, that's it. Still no games on Absinthe Frappe. It's pretty frustrating. Hopefully one day soon we'll get some. But congratulations to Mr. Lawn. I don't have the bracket ready to show who he will be potentially facing next, but we'll see. That's it for today. Everyone take care. See you later.